Arelma, and the Swiss accounts, they were the subject of summary judgments po ng Sandigan Bayan. So, na-recover na ho yan. And then, as to the other assets po, they became the subject of compromise agreements whereby these assets were surrendered to the government. So,
Surrendered by whom?
surrendered po, yung mga those who were perhaps standing as dummies, they surrendered the assets po. So marami na po tayong recoveries dyan, and some of these properties were recovered in other cases po.
Okay. Some but not all.
Well, there are still assets, but when we investigated po, wala na po talagang, for example po, there were corporations listed in that case, but then these corporations turned out to be unregistered or non-operational na po. And then we don't have any more the witnesses. So we had to be candid with the court by stating that we are no longer presenting evidence po.
So, Chair, maaari po bang makahingi sa PCGG na parang report on the recovered hidden wealth, especially yung mga pinakahuli na nabanggit nyo?
Opo.
At meron ba tayong inventaryo? Ano ba talaga yung
Meron po tayong
buong tinatarget natin?
Opo.
At ano yung na-recover na natin at ano yung hindi pa natin na-recover?
Meron po tayong inventaryo niyan. Meron din tayong inventaryo ng current cases po.
Okay.
About 67 cases po yan which are pending in the appellate courts. Ang halaga po niyan, mga more than 70 billion pa ho.
70 billion pesos?
Oo. Ang abogado po namin ang OSG po.
Okay. So 70 billion pesos pa ang tinatarget natin
Yes,
na mabawi na ill-gotten wealth ng pamilyang Marcos. Tama po?
Opo.
Tama po. At ang PCGG po ay ano po ba kayo? Attached agency to the
Touch
department?
agency po kami sa Department of Justice.
Okay. Kayo po, appointee po kayo?
Opo.
Sino pong nag-appoint sa inyo?
Si President Marcos
Si
po.
President
Junior.
Marcos
Opo.
din. Okay. So, well, just your, gusto ko lang po marinig. Hindi po ba awkward sa inyo?
Awkward po, pero trabaho po yan.
Okay.
So, but then, to the credit of the President and the family, we never were pressured on anything po.
Ganun po,
We have been performing our duty independently. So, wala pong undue influence on us.
Okay. Well, so, ang malinaw po, may tinatarget pa kayo na 70 billion pesos worth of ill-gotten wealth. At may mga pending cases ang mga yan. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Okay. Kaya, narito kayo ngayon para humingi ng budget para matuloy nyo pa yung laban na yon. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Okay, at kasi noon may mga proposal po na i-abolish na raw ang PCGG, no? Tapos na raw ang mandato nyo o wala nang marirecover. Sumasang-ayon ba kayo doon?
Kami po sang-ayon na ma-abolish yung PCGG.
Sang-ayon, okay.
But in its place, meron po sanang may tatayo ng new agency that will take over the mandate of the PCGG but expanded mandate po. Kasi ang mandate po ngayon ng PCGG is limited po
It's just the Marcos ill-gotten wealth.
Tama po. But then we want it to be expanded so that it will be applied to all public officials who have unlawfully acquired assets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So halimbawa, ibig nyo sabihin yung mga tipong flood control, ganon?
Opo. Ang pwede pong gawin dyan is just to file civil forfeiture cases under RA 1379 po. Kasi under that law, nakalagay po doon na any public official who has assets that are manifestly out of proportion to his salary and other legitimate sources of income, there is already a presumption po na ill-gotten yan. And so the burden of proof shifts to the public official to explain how he was able to amass so much assets given na this is only his salary. Kaya nga po mapapansin ninyo yung decision po ng Sandigan Bayan doon sa Swiss accounts po sa Arelma, summary judgment po yun. In other words, it's just based on the pleadings. Mahirap po kasi ang criminal case kasi ang unang-una po, ang quantum of evidence is proof beyond reasonable doubt, and you have to establish yung paper trail to show na yung asset na yan came from government funds.
Could you just explain further ano yung ibig sabihin na summary judgment?
Opo.
By foreign courts?
Dito po.
By local courts?
Sandigan Bayan po ang nag-render po ng summary judgment.
Okay.
Yung pong isang summary judgment na yan, ito po kasama yung Arelma, the Philippine government filed a petition for forfeiture, for enforcement of foreign judgment po sa New York. Nanalo po tayo dyan. There was an appeal. Recently, lumabas na po yung decision. We won the appeal po. So we are just waiting for the action of the U.S. Supreme Court if they will still affirm the decision of the Court of Appeals po ng New York.
Okay. Well, Chair, nagpapasalamat po ako sa Chair ng PCGG. We look forward dun sa report, no, yung kabuuang summary ng mga efforts na ginagawa ng komisyon para ituloy ang laban para bawiin ang ill-gotten wealth ng pamilyang Marcos. So ang sinasabi po rito, may 70 billion pa. 70 billion pesos na kailangang bawiin. So we look forward to that report, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po,
Thank you.
Kong Tonyo Tino. Okay, may we recognize Chair Mika Swansing for her manifestation.
Thank you, Vice Chair Mike. Thank you for presiding over today's deliberation on the budget of the Department of Justice. Thank you. Iniwan ko po kayo, Sec, kay Vice Chair Mike Tan because you're in very good hands with him and he did so well today in facilitating all the discussions. Thank you so much, Vice Chair Mike Tan. So I just wanted to, Sir, wrap up essentially everything that was discussed today. I think it all boils down to the budgetary requirements of the DOJ. I was looking through your slides, Sec, and very clear naman that in terms of MOOE, in terms of capital outlay, ang laki ng binagsak ng budget ng DOJ. I'm looking at the agency-wise allocations. The one that stands out to me is Bureau of Immigration. Malaki po talaga yung nawala sa Bureau of Immigration. It's not just the capital outlay, the locally funded project, kasi yun po yata yung ICT, but even the gas. Malaki talaga yung binagsak. May I know po which specific components of the gas was reduced? Para po I have a better idea of what we would need to restore if ever.
Yes po, Your Honor. Magandang gabi po, Your Honor. Yung pong sa maintenance and other operating expenses or MOOE, tinanggalan po kami ng 673,476,000. Ito po ang breakdown on additional provision for a drug-free workplace initiative in the amount of 3,403,000. Additional MOOE for expats. Yan po yung aming expanded alien registration system. Umiikot ho yung mga tao po namin sa buong Pilipinas para ho mag-alien mapping. Tinanggalan po kami ng budget ho para doon ng 18,871,000. And then, yun din pong MOOE for locally funded projects for the development, enhancement, and procurement of IT systems and infrastructures. Ang amount po niyan is 651,202,000. Pagdating po naman, Your Honor, sa capital outlay, tinanggalan rin po kami ng 1,227,811,000, representing yung pong capital outlay for locally funded projects for the development, enhancement, and procurement of IT systems and infrastructures. Yan po yung sa aming main office and sa support offices po namin all over the Philippines. Ang amount po dyan na tinanggal is 951,531,000, Your Honor. And last po, tinanggalan din po kami para sa post-construction ng aming bagong BI building. In the amount of 276,280,000. Dati po kasi ma'am, hindi po namin ma-request ito kasi ang sabi po ng DBM, hindi pa ho kami nakakalipat sa building. Ngayon po, nakalipat na po kami recently. So, pero po kailangan po namin ng additional funding para ho sa post-construction, Your Honor.
Sec, I'd have to coordinate with you po because, like for example, just the Bureau of Immigration alone, that's a very substantive amount that would need to be restored if ever. So, given the limited fiscal space, would really have to prioritize which items we would need. So, in the Bureau of Immigration alone, we're looking at over 1.2 billion. Kasi nabanggit niyo po, ICT pa,
1.9.
IT system pa lang, 1+ billion
Yes,
na
Your
po. So, siguro po, Com, if with SEC, kasi it's going to be essentially one list coming from DOJ. So when SEC gives the list to me for items for consideration, na ipaprioritize na natin siya SEC among the different agencies, attached agencies within the DOJ. So we'll have to look through that later.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll gladly submit that wish list with the corresponding order of prioritization, and we will do the proper consultation with the various agencies. Your Honor.
Yes po. Kasi usually po, di ba, I really ask for the help of the head of the agency to essentially rationalize all the requests from the different attached agencies. So thank you, Com, for enlightening us. Actually, as I was looking through the NEP, nag-stand out sa akin yung over 1 billion reduction sa Bureau of Immigration alone. And then now that I'm looking through the presentation of the Department of Justice as a whole, mas nakita ko na it's not just one agency that experienced that, it's actually across the board. So next po we have, sorry po medyo himayin ko lang siya so I know where to focus. Under the law enforcement program, siguro po dito ako nagulat because a lot of the items that are considered priorities at the moment received a substantial cut. For example po, anti-trafficking in persons enforcement, that got a 41% decrease. And ito talagang nagulat ako because this is a LEDAC measure. We even amended the OSAIC law. OSAIC got a 59% decrease. So, yun po siguro, i-consider natin siguro SEC yun.
We will put them in the priority.
Thank you po. What else? For the corrections program, over half cut from the victims' compensation services. For the NBI, Director Melvin, nakita ko yung sa NBI, yung cut. Sobrang laki din po for General Administration and Support Services. 42% yung nawala po. So, may you just enlighten me as to what items were cut within the gas.
Apo, thank you, Madam Chair. There are 6 items na we want sana na ma-address yun mabalik, but there are a lot na natanggal. Yung isa po, number 1, yung priority ko is sana we increase the hazard pay of our agents, only the agents, from 4,000 to 15,000. Medyo hindi na po kami at par with other law enforcement. So we've been transferring agents from one province to another, and it's very difficult for them to cope up with the transfer. So nahirapan po kami na mag-ikot. Number 2, we are doing now an operation, so about 200 to 220 average operations per month. Ito po yung mga, kasama na po dyan, yung mga USAIC, lahat na po, financial scams, cyber crimes, and everything. So right now, we are asking for the increase sana for the, we're spending so much for the co-plan. If you will just, yung po co-plan na tinatawag, when we do the operations, nandun po lahat yung data na kailangan, including the expenses. Normally, we are averaging the expenses nasa minimum 100. So if you will put to 100 po yung sa co-plan namin, averaging at 200 to 220, mga 44 billion a month na po yung kailangan namin dyan to continue what we've been doing. At meron po kaming upgrade sana ng mga ng equipment, yung pong sa mga drones na kailangan naming bilhin and other issues that we want to address in order for us also to address yung administrative capability namin. We want to do yung pong ISO namin. Gusto rin namin sanang gawin doon. And another is purchase of additional vehicles, which is very critical in our operations. A lot of our vehicles right now are marked or red plate po. So we cannot do the operations using the marked vehicles kasi darating pa lang po kami, sabihin, andyan yung mga NBI, may gagawin. So those are the things po na kinat po sa amin. No? Medyo marami po talaga. We recognize yung sa budget utilization on the previous year and we have plugged it down. And if we look at the mandate given by the Congress na nag-expand po yung aming investigative power, which we have to cope out, especially in the issues po of cybercrime. About 8 out of 10 crimes related na po yung cyber, 80%. So yan po yung isa namin gusto sanang ma-address. Right now, we are sharing the tools that CICC have. Pero sana po meron din kaming capability. So siguro may mga Kongs po na very concerned in their district to address also those crimes. So we are looking forward to put up cybercrime laboratories sana sa mga regions and those things po. Those are all law enforcement that tools and equipment that we need para po medyo makahabol. Kasama na po dyan yung issue ng shooting sa Ateneo di Zamboanga and also sa Tacloban. Meron po kaming mga continuous monitoring that we need the support po of the Committee of Appropriation to address these concerns po. Salamat po.
Thank you, Director Melvin. Actually, you were talking about anti-cybercrime. And nakita ko, hindi ko pa lang po nabanggit kanina, aside from anti-trafficking and persons enforcement and OSAIC, yung anti-cybercrime pala sobrang laki ng binagsak, 71%. Across the board, looking at the corrections program, half from the victims' compensation, looking at the legal services program, 15% from the Refugee and Stateless Persons Protection Unit. Sa Bucor, natanggalan din po sa gas, 13%. Sa immigration, we've discussed that already. LRA, nabawasan din yung gas by 12%. OGCC, nabawasan din yung gas. So, across the board talaga yung general administration and support services. And then for OSG, operations got cut by 8%. PPA, 36% din sa gas. And PCGG, 64%, less RLIP and special account. So across the board, it's very helpful that you were able to segment it in this manner, Sec, kasi at least nakikita namin na each agency talaga, even OADR, gas din and operation. So we're able to see the cuts across the board within the DOJ. So Sec, we'll work together po with Vice Chair Mike Tan in terms of prioritizing the items for consideration in restoration. Because as you know po, here in the Committee on Appropriations, one of the important reforms that we've done was we now have the Budget Amendments Review Subcommittee, which deliberates on and discusses line by line all the amendments that we would incorporate into the HGAB. And those amendments po would come from the request, the institutional amendments request emanating from the agency. So, hihingi po sana kami ng tulong ninyo, all the heads of agencies and all of our officials po in the DOJ, please help us po, please guide us so that when we do prioritize items for restoration, at least po it's in line with the priorities of the agency. Sayang naman po kung malagyan namin ng pondo yung isang bagay na hindi naman talaga yun yung priority ng ahensya. So in this process, let's partner po. So we would best allocate and optimize the utilization of resources given our very limited fiscal space. So, Sec, sorry po, magsiset lang ako ng, kung kaya po sana, if you can send us within the week, best po if you can send it ASAP, just so
Yes.
we're able to consolidate everything before the deliberation of the BARC.
Yes, Your Honor, we will comply. We will comply and definitely submit a comprehensive listing with the appropriate prioritization per agency.
And then I'll also defer to Vice Chair Mike, if in case there's like back and forth before we finalize the prioritized list. Yun lang. I think yun po, that's the most important, my most important role in this hearing, which is to make sure that we're able to best identify the items that would require restoration. So on our part po, best effort, but again, we all recognize that we have limited fiscal space, but we'll make sure po that we're able to allocate resources in the most optimized manner. Thank you, Sec. Thank you to the officials po of the DOJ.
Ah.
And lastly po, parang, we recognize the great work that the DOJ and all the attached agencies have been doing, especially from the law enforcement side. And we want to recognize that by also equipping you with the resources that you need to be able to perform your mandates better. So we're your partners po. Alam niyo naman po yan. We're always in support of all the projects and programs that you are and all the good that you are doing for our country. So I just wanted to take this opportunity. Maraming salamat po for all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you, Chair Mika. May we solicit a motion to terminate the budget briefing of the DOJ and its attached agencies?
Madam
Kong,
Chair, I move
Almatibag.
to terminate today's. I move that we suspend the committee proceedings and resume tomorrow, August 25, 2026 at 9 a.m. So I so move, Madam Chair.
There is a motion, duly seconded. For the Andaya Hall, the committee proceedings are now suspended and will resume tomorrow, August 25, 2026 at 9 a.m. Thank you.